Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I listened very keenly to the statement by the majority leader. Mr. Speaker, the statement is not carrying detailed information about this issue. Even though you have said it's just a preliminary statement, I think the House deserves more detailed information than this, because this affects the life of Kenyans. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy that the matter was stopped urgently, but because this could have been very dangerous. You won't know what this data will have been used for. In this era of digital, world, this could be another digital shakahola. People could have been, something could have happened that you're not sure. But Mr. Speaker, the biggest problem also I'm seeing here is a problem that us Africans have. We don't take responsibility. Somebody has slept on the job here. Because if you listen to the statement, Mr. Speaker, of the majority leader, the majority leader was clear that these people were licensed on 18th of April 2023. So these people have been around, they were licensed, they were, they put tent in a big installation here in the city center at KICC. They were not doing this work inside, dingy places. These are people who are sure of what they are doing. It looks like they had all backings that they need to do their work in a daylight at KICC. So, Mr. Speaker, me, in my view, is I propose to you that we need to hand over this matter to a committee of parliament, either the ICT committee or a special committee that can bring back a detailed report on this matter to the House, Mr. Speaker. Because the world is moving to AI, to artificial intelligence. There are a lot of things happening in the world, Mr. Speaker. And if we don't protect our people from those kind of issues, Mr. Speaker, they will become very vulnerable. I was told when the IDs of the people were taken, they were being paid 7,000 shillings. I was being told yesterday. Mr. Speaker, the level of poverty around, if you tell somebody, let me give you 20,000, I remove your eye, you will tell you just remove it. Then next week I'll come for the second one, again you remove it so that I get 40,000. Mr. Speaker, people are being misused because of the poverty levels, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, it is our responsibility to protect them so that they don't become vulnerable to people who have ulterior motives to use. Mr. Speaker, with those few remarks, I want to urge that this matter should not end with a statement. This matter is bigger than a statement. This matter, a committee of this House should be seized of this matter. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, in Parliament, your former House is known for taking over many things. You hear now a select committee of Senate investigating WorldCoin. I know them. So this is where this matter should be discussed, Mr. Speaker. We are very good in doing things. So, Mr. Speaker, let us look into this matter deeply so that we get to know what is inside this matter properly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
David Ocheng.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just want to pick from where Honorable Junet has left. That, Mr. Speaker, it's like we've left the country on its own as a people and as a country. That anything goes in this country. Anybody can walk from anywhere here into this country, do anything, and leave. Their two brothers comes back to mind. Mr. Speaker, in the last 10 years, this country has been treated to so many weird things that the time we are told that the IBC servers are based somewhere in France and they are mixed with some documents, so we can't access them. Mr. Speaker, last week we were told that eCitizen, which hosts government servers and documents, is actually banned by a private entity, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we've had the minister concerned with Interior visiting Shakahola in the last 3 months, almost every week, because of lapse insecurity, that things happen in this country on the nose of our judges and they just let them pass. Mr. Speaker, the queues at KICC didn't happen only yesterday. They've been there for 4 days in a row. You would ask what's happening there, no one would tell you what's happening there, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we as a House has a duty to protect our citizens. And that's why we must, Mr. Speaker, demand from the ministers concerned. Because even as this happened, those information are conflicting. One minister says, this is illegal, this is okay. Another one says, no, this is not okay. Mr. Speaker, we demand to know from the persons concerned that, one, how many people who are Kenyans have so far been scammed. Mr. Speaker, in Indonesia, an issue arose about WorldCoin. And what was said was that, one, they lie to you about getting your consent. Two, they lie to you about how much information they want to get from you. Number three, the speaker, they basically steal the content because, like it's been said today, a person who is hungry, a person who doesn't know what's happening in the world, a person whose only interest tomorrow is to get a packet of unga, is being told that you put your eyes here and you send down shillings comes to a speaker. Where is our security agents? Where is the NIS? Where is the CID, Mr. Speaker? Before these kind of things happen, because as parliamentarians we are not investigators. We don't investigate. We have set up institutions that are supposed to do this, Mr. Speaker, and therefore I agree with those who are calling for, Mr. Speaker, a holistic review of what has happened so far, because I believe that even the Office of the Data Protection Commissioner, Mr. Speaker, is complicit on this. So many guys are involved, the company registration offices, the Ministry of ICT, the Ministry of Interior, the persons involved in protecting information, Speaker, must be questioned, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I end, I want to know from the two ministers, what remedial measures have they taken so far since this was discovered, apart from stopping this from happening? Have they confiscated their machines? Have they closed their offices? What have they done to ensure to assure members of this country that the game will not be used in a wrong manner? But Mr. Speaker, finally, the ministers concerned, could they wake up and man up and run the ministries in the right way? Thank you.
Matia.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I want to also take this opportunity to add my voice on this matter of WorldCoin. Mr. Speaker, the world today is technology and forever. First thing, we as a house, we need to realize that we might not be in a position to run away from technology. But again, I also want to concur with what Honorable Ochieng has said, that this country is experiencing very unfortunate situations. Apart from the shakaolas we hear every day, apart from problems that people go through, you cannot imagine at 1 minute that WorldCoin has been in this country for the last several months. They have been collecting this information of people, and it has not been reported. I still want to ask, what happened with NIS, which actually is fettered with a lot of public coffers? It is one of the departments that gets almost anything they want. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, today we don't know exactly what the information that they have collected through HIRIS biometric is going to be used, and how many so far, whether we are able to recollect back or whether you are going to confiscate even as you do your investigations, and who is using it and for what purposes. I know if you keenly look at what this tech company does, is they do a lot of research. And Mr. Speaker, you might be walking around this world, and one day you are being picked in some corridors or in some airports, and you are being questioned or being arrested because your HIRIS or your HIRIS was picked and was used to mismatch on some other things. And this is an opportunity for this parliament to take up the challenge, call the minister specifically for Interior and the Department of National Security Intelligence. It is very unfortunate that we are here watching people queuing for several days, and no one could put a queue on to why and why are people these people are doing it. They were actually bragging all over Facebook that we are here and we are collecting these information, and it is unfortunate that the people who are giving this information and their HIRIS were young people, and they want to say they are poor people, but they are not poor people. These are people who probably they are just curious, but that curiosity could probably run them into a bigger problem in the future. As I say, as Honorable Mother also put it across, that the owner of WorldCoin is also the owner of ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a very complex thing. You can imagine when you ask for an information and someone knows a lot of things about you. You also want to understand how they collected that information. As much as we are encouraging technology, these are some of the things that you are, in fact, the departments of interior must use a lot of resources to be able to understand what is happening in the world of tech. Mr. Speaker, I want to call upon the government of Kenya to take up this challenge and take possible ways to arrest the information that have been taken and give Kenya some very good information about this thing. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. I think we'll end there. Yes, Bensouda, 2 minutes.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. As a member of Communication, Information, I would like to, ICT that is, I would like to add my voice onto the WorldCoin issue. One, because much has been contributed towards this, in my opinion, I would like to advise that not only this House should call upon the Minister for Interior to come upon and explain, but we are talking about issues of data. I would also want to voice up that the two ministers, even the Minister for CII, should be called upon this House so that we can be explained for the security issues behind data which has been collected and how that is going to be managed. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, when I looked into the kind of the age that were queuing in line at KICC, most of them were youthful age. And even the way they dressed up, it meant that most of them even are youths who are even idle. When you looked at the code of dressing, you looked at the hair, there was a big problem. Number 3, Honorable Speaker, when I had the contribution of the Deputy Speaker, I want to support that the targeted areas, in my opinion, was also youths, because Strathmore is an institution which most of our youths in this country are learning. When we talk about Nairobi County, the same. So even the person who is behind the WorldCoin, this is not somebody who shall not just park and go home. Questions and gaps are there. Why were they keen? Who allowed them to occupy KICC, which is a serious government institution? I think we are threatened as a country, and so I agree with the President's information yesterday that some of our officers are very incompetent to an extent that he knows much of the things which happens in various ministries and others do not know. We are sleeping in our jobs. I fully support the President on this, and I want him to cascade seriously on the Interior Minister and the Minister for CII. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I am appealing to the PSCs who still have some delayed or stalled projects to reach out to GDS so that we can explore ways of unlocking whatever is blocking the implementation. The National Treasury is operationalizing the assets module in IFMIS. This will provide a real-time automated platform of capturing government assets data and reporting on assets using the prescribed templates. As accounting officers, you will have tracking dashboards. To protect you against unnecessary apprehension, adequate resources for implementation have been allocated for these overdue fiscal reforms. We are ready for the reform agenda, so you should also be ready. It is my pleasure to join you for this workshop on assets and inventory management. The holding of this workshop could not have come at any other opportune time. As you are aware, governments have one goal with respect to asset management, which is to maximize the value of their investment portfolio over time while maintaining an acceptable level of risk. The government of Kenya, to which you are an essential cog, is no exception. In order to achieve the goal of maximizing the value of government investments, the National Treasury has initiated fiscal reforms to automate assets and inventory management in ministries, state departments, and agencies, and in county governments too. These reforms will be pursued in line with the government's bottom-up economic transformation agenda. For avoidance of doubt, the reforms are in tandem with our resolve to automate all government processes and services, key among them the management of public assets.
Outside the national treasury, there the procurement unit is one. So if goods are transferred in our ministries and procuring entities, they are captured on automated systems.
Of procurement information and data from past established procurements. These are some of the key achievements that the procurement methods, as there's only one template that is configured for all the procurement methods.
And so,
good morning, colleagues. My name is Rosalind Njogu. I'm the PS for Diaspora.
Good morning, everybody. Jonathan Mohammed, Principal Secretary of this distinguished meeting. PSS, Senior Government Director General of the Kenya School of Government. And as usual, we are once I make it. And the point is that the Kenya School of Government staff will generate it from the work that we do here. And so, the government as comfortable as possible. Thank you very much.
yes.
Good morning, all. My name is Joseph Siega, Chief of Staff, Office of the Prime Cabinet.
Of government, which are transparent and are standardized in form. I think that's the most important. If you look at the slide, on the screen, number 1.